Hello, folks.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, it's comic news. We were gone last week. We were tired, and we had a lot of Easter candy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe my dentist is going to get a lot more money out of me now because it's that kind of candy you take a bite into and you can feel like it's stabbing your tooth in the heart. That's how bad and sugary it was, but it was awesome.
It was worth it.
It was so worth it, and that's what my dentist is going to keep saying to me, well, whispering to himself, like, this was so worth it. Which I'll be fine, because with my insurance, I'll be numb the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I went to sleep during a root canal.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, like that's how numb I was. I'm just like, oh, sorry, I'm snoring, am I?
Oh, you're tough.
Yeah. And I'm well insured. So there's some things from last week that we will mention here. Some big, some minor. It's my show. I can do whatever the fuck I want with the news lineup.
That's right. We can talk about Phyllis Diller if you want for an hour.
Yes, that's going to be in the, we're going to put that video up separately if you want, so I'll private message you the link to it, and you can enjoy it for yourself. Yes. So our first article of news is the Avengers script is up for sale. Woo. Yes, one moment here. So the movie's in production now. Woo! And and my sister's gonna have to be in the room.
Yay.
Yeah.
You live in a phone booth or something?
Yes, I do.
Can she be somewhere else for 1 hour? Is that remotely possible?
Nope.
Okay.
Because there's only 2 TVs in our house.
It's like you live in a smart car.
No, they still work.
Yes. So the pages are up for grabs. I'm going to so buy it if it's worth about $20.
How much?
No, God damn it. It's not $20. Oh, and it's Sam Jackson's copy.
That's right.
That means we can. Hopefully, there's a scene in there. Someone will buy it and they'll be skimming through. He does something in this, right? Come on.
Yeah. Well, you can tell it's Samuel Jackson's script because it smells like cigarettes and pussy.
Everything Samuel Jackson owns smells like that, so it's easy to figure out. So, yes, there's that. More Avengers news, Manos.
Okay. Hey, you know that Point One initiative that no one really cares about? Well, hey, here's a reason to care about it. Brian Michael Bendis and Neal Adams are doing a new Avengers 16.1. And I had no idea. I heard that Neal Adams was doing some kind of Avengers product, but here we go. And it's also going to feature the return of Norman Osborn. I imagine Norman Osborn. I assume it's specifically him, but who knows? And I hope it's not some douchey relative of his. But
who knows?
Who knows what they're going to do with this? I am just crazy for Adam's old 70s style work, even when it makes no sense, like the Batman Odyssey. Actually, now that this story's been released, that probably explains why maybe Batman Odyssey has sort of been put on hold right now.
That might explain it, because we're not sure how fast he can get something out. He's old, obviously. Well, unless he's been frozen in time, which how freaking awesome would that be? But no, he's working on this, and he also this says he's working on something for Dark Horse Presents. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's probably got his plate full. So for the people who are apparently who really miss Batman Odyssey in their lives,
that's me.
Yes, I know it's you, and I think it's Manos and a bunch of other people who are the same age as Manos. My God, yes.
I enjoy it. I don't care.
No, good for you. I read stupid. I watch and read stupid things all the time and don't give a regard to anyone's opinion, so I cannot judge you. So yeah. And speaking of Bendis, he has another job.
That's right.
Woo! He's the writer of the Marvel MMO coming out. Apparently, that's coming out.
This is a game or something, right?
Yes. I probably should have had King in for this, but I don't know how much he'd get out of this because he'd probably just talk about how either MMOs suck or something. But I don't.
What is MMO? Explain to me, the ignorant masses.
Oh boy. All my video game fans, please don't track me down and beat me up for what I'm about to say. It is essentially a giant waste of time. Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. Me explaining what an MMO is destroyed everything. The gamers got to me. So, Manos, how's that Red Knight thing coming along?
Red Knight. Oh yeah, Red Knight. That's the comic book that I'm writing and I've created. Yeah, we finally got a publisher. I'm doing it with Mike Federali's Primal Paper Comics. If you remember, we did an interview with Mike a few weeks ago, and about it's a really terrific company that's right here in my home state of Virginia. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of like a loose federation of indie comic creators. And I've had an invite for a while to join them, and I finally have a book. So I'm going to do a Red Knight comic with the Primal Paper banner. So I'm really excited.
Sweet. You've been talking to me about how much work and fun you've been putting into the comic so far, and I can't wait to read it too, just like I know everyone else is. And also, I checked Comic Book Late Night on Geek Solution.
Yeah.
You know how many people are suggesting Red Knight as the new comic Captain Logan should read now? A lot of people.
It's really cool. I actually did a count a couple hours ago, and I'm tied with American Vampire.
I actually said American Vampire first.
Oh yeah.
It's only because I've read that. I love that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're winning right now. For me.
Et tu, Dukaloops.
I'm sorry, Scott Snyder made me.
But let's see. Do you have any questions about what the comic's about?
Are you? This is going to be a boneheaded question. Are you going to explain the origin of the character at all in the issues, or?
I'm going to slowly bring it out. Actually, you get the basics in issue 3, and there's a little more fleshed out in future issues. I'm not going to hit you all at once with every single detail, because I think that can sometimes be not as exciting, and it's just more fun to peel away layers of a story like that. So you'll learn as you go. But yeah, it's a comic about it's a superhero, and his real name is Todd McClane, and he has grown up in a world of superheroes, much like the Marvel and DC universes, you see, with its own set of rules and superheroes, and he's always wanted to be one, and he finally gets his chance. Fate bestows on him superpowers. And once he's old enough, he goes forth, and he's really not as good as he thought he was, and it's not as easy as he had hoped it was. And he runs into a lot of trouble. He has partners that really aren't as into it as he is. Mm-hmm. And there's a law, actually. As he's grown up, there's been a law instated where you can't be a superhero without a license. But getting a license is really hard. It's not like you can just walk in and get one.
God damn it, Mark Millar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought of that instantly.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of red tape that goes into it. So
red tape and the Red Knight, my God.
That'd be easy, but, it's not exactly a good combination. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's sort of it's a little bit of a mystery as to finding out what his origins are, and it's almost a chase because there's this police officer who is out to get him. And her name is Martha Brown. And she's investigating the whole thing. So, and also, he's inherited a bar from his parents. So he's
nice.
I think he's the first superhero who owns a bar.
Someone do research on this and tell us if there are other superheroes who own a bar.
Yeah, he's the only one. He owns it with his uncle.
I just thought of one. Guy Gardner had a bar.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, he's the second superhero with a bar. And I knew I liked Guy Gardner for a reason. He co-owns the bar with his uncle Nathan R. Anderson, and he's this gun nut, bitter divorced old guy from Texas, and he's sort of in a way his Alfred, except he's a Texas redneck.
Wow. So it's essentially making my Uncle Mark be Alfred. Okay. Because I have a couple uncles who are that exact description.
And he's great. He makes his weapons for him, and he's sort of his sort of assistant. I mean, he's his mentor in a way, and I love that character. He appears in issue 2, by the way. And this comic comes out July, and first 3 issues are going to be monthly. So issues 2 and 3 should follow right after each other. And
we'll be sure to have a link to the Facebook page so you people can keep updated.
Yeah. And I just got done. Actually, Lindsay, before we started recording, handed me the last page of the letters, so it is now complete, actually.
Sweet. I will hopefully be one of the first people to buy it. You and me will work a deal out on this one off recording, of course.
We'll do a little backroom talking.
Yes. There's a lot of behind the scenes work on this show.
There's a lot of political intrigue and romance and horror.
No, not a lot of romance. That one girl who was my intern kind of had to leave. Yeah, it was. I'm heartbroken. Yeah. So.
How did that romance advice I gave you go? Did you gently to her?
I did, and it worked until she told her friends, and they wanted to beat the fuck out of me.
Well, you didn't.
How could that happen? Like, she was like, oh, that's upset. And then she followed up with, but I haven't read volume 8 yet of something. And, like, I'm sorry, you okay? I'm like, I'm good. And then, like, 2 hours later, a bunch of her friends found me and wanted to hurt me.
Well, you're not trying to hook up with them, so, I mean, that doesn't count.
Yeah. So it worked on the initial statement. It backfired with some unknown side effects.
That's right. Well, that's how love is.
Yes. So I'm sure everyone was happy to know how that turned out. Actually, a few people did ask me how it went, weirdly enough. The weird part is they private messaged me. I'm like, can't you people just go on the channel comments? This is somewhat creepier. Anyway, everyone's excited for Red Knight, but let's get back to other news.
Done.
Done? Okay, cool. A while back, me and Manos did a nice heartfelt tribute to Dwayne McDuffie, R.I.P. And it was announced that by Bruce Timm that a script he did called Justice League Chaos, or apparently Justice League Doom, because I went to the Wikipedia page for the animated original movies, and that's under there. And also, apparently this movie is supposed to be a loose adaptation of the Tower of Babel story.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, it's intended to be released next year. That's all we have, detail-wise.
I imagine it's been changed from Doom to Chaos, maybe to give it less of a deathy feeling.
Or maybe they were running low on letters, and they're like, oh, we need to go down to 4 letters. 5 letters is too... That's my theory. I'm like, Tower of Babel's too long. I guess they were afraid it wasn't going to fit.
Actually, no. They wrote in at the last minute a guest appearance from Maxwell Smart. It's going to be a crossover.
Yes. So, we don't know anything about it. They're planning next year. I've been liking most of these animated movies.
Yeah, for the most part, they've been really good.
Yeah, some are better than others, of course, but I really loved All-Star, and I really loved Crisis on Two Earths, though it had a couple problems, and I really loved both the animated movies he's done out of this line.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I'm really kind of anticipating this now because anything from him is cool to watch because like let's see, I think some of the shows he writes on, like Ben 10, there's still a couple episodes that he wrote that they're still putting out.
I know. I mean, he had a lot of work going at the time of his death.
Busy. Yeah. And again, we pointed out that it was really sudden because he seemed perfectly fine. I'm
still surprised. That's probably out of the celebrity deaths this year. I know the year's not even half over yet, but I mean that's very surprising to me. I'm still kind of surprised by it. I still occasionally forget that he's gone.
The thing that gets creepy, and sorry, this sounds disrespectful, but Twitter keeps suggesting that I follow him now.
Ooh.
Because he had a Twitter account, and they don't shut it off. They can't figure out you're dead, so it's still around. So it's kind of creepy when it says follow him.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. I have to exit out instantly, like, oh my god, he's haunting my computer. No, but yeah, it's, so, I just wanted anyone else to know, because a lot of people really did like that tribute we did, and were really upset that he was gone too, so, you people now know.
Oh.
Yes, that was our quiet moment. Now let's move into insanity, because we have to talk about the Spider-Man musical. You do this, Manos.
Spider-Man musical still sucks. The end.
Yes. Anyway, Law and Order: Criminal Intent. I can't do it. Yes, they're going to do an episode inspired by the insanity around this musical. Wow. Really?
I hope they can figure out how to make it more ridiculous.
I'm just upset it's not SVU because I want Ice-T to be like, this sucks, man.
This is bad at my reality show.
Oh God.
Wait, does it depress you? Maybe more for me because I used to enjoy. Believe it or not, I used to enjoy rap a lot in the early '90s and '80s. And to see some of these gangster guys be so not cool anymore, it's kind of depressing. Like him and Ice-T. I mean, Ice-T and Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Are like, farting around with kids or something in shows. It's like, oh. These guys were scary and tough and cool at one point. I mean, Ice-T made the song Cop Killer, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's like, hey, kids! Like they turned into all 50s dads.
Yeah, it's really bad. And I finally had the last straw with Ice-T during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because I was visiting some relatives, and it always had to be on TBS. Mm-hmm. And this is just a rant against TBS in general, but when they have a new show come out, they will not stop beating you over the head with it, and they kept promoting Are We There Yet?, the new sitcom based off his crappy movie that he also stars in. He's a guest star on the show, and they just kept beating me over the head with it, like there was a short while where I didn't know he was a rapper until like 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. I just thought he had a weird ass name. I'm just like, okay, I mean, Cedric the Entertainer does it. I guess he can do it.
No.
I don't care.
His name is actually Cedric the Entertainer. His family.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I always say that and I sound stupid.
I met his dad once at a party, Mr. the Entertainer. He's a really nice guy. His name's Steve the Entertainer.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm laughing so much at that. Yeah. So this turned from Spider-Man musical bashing to what the hell happened to, the hardcore rappers.
Yeah. We miss you, hardcore rappers.
I don't, not anymore, because most of their songs are bad. I hate listening to rap music now. I can't stand most music that sounds like that anymore. If it sounds angry, I don't like it, because I'm not angry.
Oh, really?
Well, I
But
don't.
you're a teenager. Aren't you guys supposed to be angry?
I'm one of those weird mellow teenagers.
Oh, man.
I'm a weird breed.
You're like a Canadian teenager.
Where's going to high school, eh? What's this about? Canadian fan base is so happy.
I could rebel, but I won't.
I'm going to have me some maple syrup, eh? So, hold on. I love you, Canada. Just in case you have some issues with me now.
No. They have a sense of humor about themselves. That's what makes Canada great.
Yes. We cool, Canada. We cool. So our next story, Manos, you read this.
All right. I believe this is the Barnes & Noble story, correct?
Yes, it is.
Barnes & Noble opens itself up to comic books. Yeah, not just the graphic novels. I'm talking about the monthly series, issues. Issues are going to be at Barnes & Noble. And I know I have personally seen Barnes & Noble kind of half-ass it over the years, where, I don't know, you walk into any Barnes & Noble, you see like a secondary X-Men comic that's 8 months old and some Archie comics.
Mine doesn't even do that.
And it looks like they're actually going to make some real inroads here, where it's going to be it looks like it's going to be some Marvel, DC, and even independent, which I imagine what probably means Dark Horse.
Image, Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe IDW. IDW's growing.
Well, probably IDW. I think I have more respect for IDW in terms of, because I read more books from them than Dark Horse and Image combined.
I've been reading a lot of IDW lately too. That's really cool.
Yeah. This was. I remember last year when it was a big deal that Hastings was doing like the whole selling comics thing.
Yeah.
Which of course, A, died down, and B, I never cared about in the first place because I lived nowhere near a Hastings.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, Hastings, that's a big to who? I never heard of the store before that story broke.
Mm-hmm. And I like to think I have a lot of stuff in this area, but I don't even know where Hastings is.
Yeah, I kind of.
Are they even stores, or is it just a website thing?
No, it's Hastings is an actual, they're basically like a Walmart, I've been told.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. They're kind of like a Kohl's or something. I don't know, and I don't care.
Okay.
Because I live nowhere near one. I don't envy anyone who has one. The only, store I envy right now is Carl's Jr. I hate every town that has a Carl's Jr. because every time I've eaten there, I've enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have Hardee's, which is its brother company or something. I'm not sure why there's a difference.
Yes, I think I might have eaten at one of those too, but again, I've been to Carl's Jr.'s a lot. So yes, Barnes & Noble, it's a big deal with them because, at least in my mind, there's a Barnes & Noble, at least in every major town.
That's right.
So yeah, this is big because it's a bookstore, and plus it's going to be cool to, go to the graphic novel section and not look at it like, there's not a lot here, is there? Because mine's just like one shelf and a half, and it's only because they keep getting books and stuff. Let's see, the only time they ever promote comics, at least at mine, is when, say, a movie's coming out. They take the most random book that has Batman on it, they put it on a table.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, you guys want to read Kevin Smith's Batman? But we have it. Because it's Batman. They do that. And they ordered every Thor book. Because, of course, Marvel has to put out any book that has Thor on it.
That's
my
right.
Barnes & Noble orders it.
Look, it's time for everyone to pretend they love Thor.
Yeah, it's the time.
Now, it's time to hop on board.
Indeed. Oh God, what books did I find there the other day? They had First Thunder, which was supposed to be Thor Year One, but I heard it sucked.
Oh, they. I wonder if they have the Warren Ellis Thor book.
I didn't see it there, but I did see it at a local bookstore. Weirdly enough, it's just weird because they never order crap like that. Not to say it's crap, but they never order comics.
That was kind of neat. Let's see, that was one of the Thor runs I read, and it was funny. At the time, Marvel was making a big deal out of Mike Deodato's costume design for Thor. They redesigned his costume. Wasn't
it that weird blue armor-looking thing?
Something like that. And what made me laugh was he never wore it during the entire run. I can't remember when he wore it. He was like constantly shirtless. It was so funny. He'd have it in the ads, and I think he guest appeared in a couple books with the full costume on during the time. But he never, I don't know, I can't remember a point during the storyline where he had the whole thing on.
Maybe it's really bulky and hard to put on.
I guess, yeah, that's probably why he didn't wear it anymore after this. It's like, forsooth, this doff costume blows.
These shoulder pads suck.
That's why I can't write Thor.
Thank God JMS changed that. Yes, so do you want to move on to our next story?
Yeah, it is Justice League International. This is cool. Justice League International is getting a new series. We're talking about the version of the Justice League that was the old version of the Justice League series from the 80s, where it turned into Justice League International by Keith Giffen and Demetrius, where it had more of a humorous fun bent to it. This is where the Maxwell lore, the Guy Gardner stuff all came out. And we've had, of course, the, Generation Lost. Now... Yeah,
they pimped it out. I looked through that issue, the last issue this week, and at the bottom of the page in like a giant logo saying, "It'll come out eventually."
And now it's kind of come full circle where we have Justice League International again. And is this being written by the original group, or is this Judd Winnick?
We don't know yet. It was just stated at the bottom of a page saying Justice League International's coming.
I loved this old version of Justice League from the 80s. I thought it was so funny. And this is where I got introduced to a whole bunch of new characters like Guy Gardner and Mr. Miracle and Fire and Ice. And this, where Brewster Gold had a series before this.
But no one cared about him until this book, right?
That's right. I mean, this is where he kind of really got going. And Blue Beetle, the Ted Kord Blue Beetle. Man, and just the dialogue was always so fun. And this is where the Martian Manhunter found his love for Oreo cookies.
This is the book where that happened?
This is where that happened, yeah. It spun out of a running gag that Captain Marvel was an early member of the team, and he was always eating them. And, a couple of characters made fun of him about it, and Martian Manhunter just was out of curiosity asked about them. And he gave him one, and it was like crack. He got really addicted to it after.
Oh, I'm glad to know I know the source of that, because I love that. There's an early issue of Brave and the Bold. Guy Gardner and Hal Jordan go to Mars to see John, and they have this giant box full of Oreos for him. And he's so happy.
That's so funny. This is where it came from.
I want to read the original book because the trades are out there and I want to get my hands on them. But I've been told Generation Lost was good. I never caught on to it because I was like, well, if I'm gonna have to focus my book on one bi-weekly thing, just Brightest Day, because it has people I love writing it. But now I'm kind of regretting it because I've been told it was amazing.
I wasn't able to keep up with it. I bought the first issue, but like everybody else, I can't spread my money around that far. So
yeah, it was. And I've been told because I know the first 6 Giffen co-wrote, but then it was all Winnick throughout. I've been told it still was funny, but it was more serious than you expect these characters. Because from what I've been told, International, the old book, was a sitcom that had superheroes in it. That's how it's been described to me, and that's why I really want to watch. I really want to read it now. But though they did, have a lot of jokes in Generation Lost, I've been told they did it more seriously. So if Winnick does it, I don't think anyone's going to be upset. Yeah. For those who read Generation Lost.
Well, here's the thing. The series started out kind of adventure series with a lot of humor. Mm-hmm. And then it became kind of just a humor book, which was fun for a while. And most of the issues centered around Blue Beetle and Brewster Gold, actually, and Guy Gardner. And
well, of course,
one of the best issues, one of the best storylines during this was what's it called? I think it was Club JLI or.
Was this the one where Booster Gold wanted to invest some JLA money into a nightclub or something?
Into a resort island.
Yes, yeah, I've heard of this story.
It was a themed island, and it was just priceless. It was great. I love that one. There's also one that centers on Batman taking the team undercover in Europe, and he went disguised as Bruce Wayne, which is hilarious because he just took his mask off and said he was disguised as Bruce Wayne, and everybody believed him.
Is it? Wow, that actually makes that scene from Batman Returns where Christopher Walken actually asks, "Why are you Bruce Wayne? Why are you dressed as Batman?" That kills me all the time that he's too stupid to realize that's him. It's like, no, that's wrong.
That totally makes no sense.
You're Christopher Walken. When does anything make sense with you? Anyway, so let's go from humor to hatred. Yes. Hatred has covered this story. Superman hates America. You have now been informed. May I add, this was spoiled to me because I didn't get to read Action Comics 900 until after this was shoved down my throat, because a lot of people wanted me to talk about this for the obvious reasons, but some of you may be confused. Join the club. We have jackets. Okay, so one of the stories in... Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
okay, you're just being quiet. Sorry, I get cut off on this thing so much. It just annoys me when things go quiet. In a story in the recent Action Comics 900 issue, Superman renounced his U.S. citizenship.
Now, I haven't read this issue. I've just been hearing about it like everyone else. My question is, he's a superhero who just calls himself Superman. I mean, he hasn't really had citizenship, really. I mean, has he renounced his citizenship of Clark Kent? Because that's who he is legally.
I know.
He's secretly Superman. So I mean, is this just a sort of symbolic gesture?
You go to the Department of Immigration. They have a proof of citizenship for Superman. It says Superman on the certificate in the computer. Yeah. Well, okay, fine. Let me explain why people are upset about this. Because what is he always a symbol of? Truth, justice, and the American way. That's why people are pissed off at this. Mm-hmm. Well, let me just kind of point out something. Don't get me wrong. I understand why that diminishes it, but he fights aliens on a regular basis.
Yeah, he's in space a lot.
Yeah, he's doing more than fighting for good old-fashioned America. He's helping out everything. He's helping out other freaking universes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, in my mind, it just makes no sense. I'm he's not just helping us out.
Yeah, I mean, there are times where he's kept the universe from imploding. I'm sure he's not just doing that for the good old US of A. And the American way, that's the thing. That was the thing brought in during the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, it's also kind of dated.
And it's also left to interpretation. I mean, what is the American way? And if you ask 100 people that, you may get 100 different answers.
Yeah.
What does it mean post-Cold War, the American way? And I think that sometimes I've noticed subtly that some DC writers and some filmmakers who have done Superman as well have kind of been trying to figure out, what does that mean? And is there something more to this? I mean, this is something that's kind of been tossed around in the Superman mythos a little bit for the last, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years. I've noticed anyway, little subtle, references to it. I don't know. I mean, I guess this will make him more of a world character. I mean, maybe they might be following suit with the Batman International, not International,
Superman International.
Superman International, where maybe we'll see maybe in the future we're going to see some more stories of him, all throughout the world, because he could be sitting in New York and then go right over to Zimbabwe in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of quick.
This wasn't even the main story, like the Luthor story or the Doomsday story. This is like one of the backup stories, I think. I can't remember at this point, because I did read the issue.
Isn't that hilarious? It's a backup story, and everyone's like losing their shit about it.
Or at least I think. Like, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was a backup story, so that's why it's a little weird.
I've been thinking about seeking it out, but, because it's become such a big story, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. It's like, damn it!
Well, it is getting a second printing.
Mm-hmm.
It sold enough.
Oh, well, shit. It's not going to be worth as much if I had gotten it the first time.
Oh, yes, because you care about that so much. Especially these days.
Yeah.
Remember. Okay, and now we continue with our next story, and since we mentioned DC animated movies earlier, let's talk about Batman Year One.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about this one.
Oh, I'll give you this then, because since you're all about it.
Yes. Yes. The cast, you may have already heard this, I think this is last week's news. The cast for Batman Year One is coming out. It's Bryan Cranston, Ben McKenzie, Eliza Dushku, and Katie Sackhoff? You don't believe it. This is great. This is the animated version of Frank Miller's Year One, which is, by the way, one of my favorite Batman stories. I love this. It's, I think, Lauren Montgomery and Samuel Liu are directing it. And
yeah, I think they've been doing most of them.
Yeah, that's right. Great. I love it. Let's see. Bryan Cranston sounds like he'd be a pretty cool choice for Jim Gordon. I'm not familiar with Ben McKenzie. Are you?
I've heard that name, but I don't know why.
And Eliza Dushku as Catwoman? I mean...
Only as a voice, though, so we've been partially cheated.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, she could do Catwoman for real. And Katie Sackhoff is a great idea for Sarah Essen. That was cool casting.
Yes. One moment here. Let me just... if you could listen to the silence, you might be able to hear the one guy who's upset that Kevin Conroy's not coming back yet again.
Well, I'll be honest.
Oh, boo.
I'll be honest. This is the one time I would have liked Kevin Conroy to come back.
Huh, no, I would have been fine, too. Like, I'm fine with his voice, but I just don't like it when they have to pimp out the fact that he's back. He left?
Well, they have to. Well, I mean, Bruce Timm, I feel like he's in catch-22. I mean, he doesn't bring Kevin Conroy back, and a load of fans are pissed. He does bring him back, and another load of fans are pissed. It's like he can't win, no matter what he does.
Yes.
I do admit that maybe his voice might be a little older to play the young Batman. And, in a way, they did a little bit of this in Mask of the Phantasm, so maybe it might have been, like, repeating itself.
Oh, I know Mackenzie. He's on Southland, and I watch that show from time to time.
Do you think he has a pretty cool potential Batman voice?
May I add, he was also the lead guy from the OC.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out at that stuff, too. I can't remember right now, because I don't watch that shit. My memory's all buggy, but I think he could pull it off.
Okay. Well, if you're convinced, I'm convinced.
Yes, I'm easy to convince, too, so don't take that. No.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so...
Well, let me go out on a limb there, so I can fall on my face, man.
I'm sorry. That was so worth the joke, though. Yes, Well, also, I want to mention that the sales on these DVDs haven't been doing as great as they have been, like, at the beginning. I think All-Star got, like, made $3 million, and they've been going down in sales, like, since Doomsday, because Doomsday was the big one that got, like, almost $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been kind of going down, and also, I just want to mention, they're bringing back those shorts that they've had on the previous movies.
Oh, good, good.
It's going to be a Catwoman one.
Ooh, awesome. Maybe they'll have Eliza Dushku do that.
Maybe. All I know, because I read off Wikipedia, so again, I might not be even right on this, but it said that there's going to be a Catwoman short on it. It didn't say any details, like who's writing it, or like voice cast or anything.
Maybe they could bring Adrienne Barbeau back. I'd like to hear her as Catwoman again.
Well, I love those shorts. I still need to get the Shazam Superman one.
Yeah.
I've been told that's worth buying a whole separate DVD and 3 other shorts that I already own.
Yeah, I know. Again. What a kind of fuck job that is. That one that's new better be good.
Well, it is twice as long, and also I've been told that the older shorts on it are extended, meaning like an extra minute of running or something.
Ah, damn it.
Probably. There's, again, like when you put it the size comparison, they're 11 minutes long, and extra minutes, like, who knows how much.
I know.
Yeah.
The drum solo is going to just be longer.
Why the hell is there a drum solo?
I didn't know there was a drum solo in the Green Arrow one. That's so great.
It's not even going to be like animation. It's just going to be a random clip of drums of a guy doing a drum solo, and then just go back. It's not even animated. It's just a clip of a guy playing the drums, and then we go back to the action. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? I need to get them. I saw it cheap at Walmart today. I should have got it. Mm-hmm. Oh well. So our final story. Mm-hmm. I'll let you do this again, Manos.
Sure. Warner Brothers, this is another story from last week. We apologize. We were off. We were taking a break.
I don't apologize for anything.
Reveals what the parts are in The Dark Knight Rises of Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Marion Cotillard. How do you pronounce her name?
I have no clue. I tried going with like Cotillard. I don't know.
Yeah. And,
yeah.
Marion Cotillard, and, let's see, they're playing, two kind of made-up characters for the movie, which, to be honest, shouldn't shock me that much.
Yeah.
Let's see. And of course, there's the rumor that won't end that Marion is actually playing, Talia in disguise.
Yes, and also, this will kind of clear up, because a lot of people were angry when they said Levitt was going to be, Falcone.
Yeah.
And like 2 minutes later, they said, "Oh, no.
Yeah,
we were wrong." So, and Warner Brothers actually came out and confirmed it. So we're clear this time, unless they're playing another trick on us. God damn them.
No, I don't think it's a trick. Well, see, that's the thing with Nolan. It could be a trick. I mean, that was what made one of the things that made Batman Begins so brilliant was he completely convinced us. Ken Watanabe was playing Rachel Gould, and
even in marketing,
this trainer character, and
even the marketing played it off because they had the Roz figure say the other name. Yeah, so
genius. And I remember thinking, like, maybe 20 minutes into the movie when I was watching it for the first time, well, like, this sucks. Liam Neeson should play Rachel Gould.
And now I'm having this funny vision of you going, yes.
Oh, yeah, I was pretty excited when he revealed it at the end. But I was so stupid, I bought it hook, line, and sinker going in. So who knows?
Again, my theory that no matter what, this movie will not suck.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it would be quite a surprise.
So, it's...
But she's a really good actress, too, by the way. I don't know if you've seen Public Enemy. She's in that with Johnny Depp and...
I've seen half of that movie. Okay. It is awesome. I want to watch the rest of it.
Oh, I recommend that. You should finish that. It's a really good movie.
Yes. So that's all our news. I think. One moment here. Let me check for the files.
Okay.
Do we know someone named Osama? Yes, we have files.
Okay. I didn't know that. May I do this?
Yes.
We'd like to dedicate tonight's episode of Comic News to Osama Bin Laden, who we have just learned through a press conference but a few minutes ago, while we were recording this, is dead. He's been killed, he's been dispatched, he's been butchered, he's been deadified, he is gone, he is no more. He is an ex-terrorist. He is enjoying Party City right now with 72 very well-endowed virgins. We really don't mourn your passing because you pretty much deserved whatever you got. So, what's the word for it? Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
Okay.
How about you, Luke?
I tried not laughing. I'm like, when you said dedicated, I'm like, oh god, this isn't going good. Yeah, so that happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in, as soon as we're done with this, I'm gonna go in the next room and watch the news, see if I can learn any details about it.
Yes, it took 10 years and 2 presidents.
Yeah, kind of. But hey, it happened.
Yeah. So everyone's going to be a lot peppier tomorrow, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I gotta admit, it's rare when the death of someone can perk my...
Anyone listening to this, and odds are they've taken advantage of this already, if there's any problem, something as like minor as, oh no, I left my car keys in the house, or, oh no, I have a flat tire, just say this to yourself. Well, Osama's gone now.
I have so many moments when I look at people like Charlie Sheen and Donald Trump, and I think, why is this useless human garbage alive and Heath Ledger dead? Now, hey, I can at least think to myself, at least one guy that deserves it is gone.
Yes, Heath Ledger can laugh at him up top of heaven, point down at the ground and to hell and be like, ha 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 ha, I'm up here. Osama's probably like in the sub-basement of the sub-basement of hell.
Yeah, they all know each other.
Where they keep like the hell Christmas tree, I presume.
Now, you may not know this, but Heaven and Hell is kind of designed like the apartment complex in Rear Window. So you could just see each other.
That's better than my joke. I was just going to say, yeah, Heaven has a weird security system. So, yes, until next time, probably next week. Again, sorry if anyone missed us last week.
We missed you.
We all missed you. You're all a sensation. Yes, so until next time, I'm Duke.
And I am the real Manos, and don't forget to check out the Red Knight comic Facebook page coming from Primal Paper. Please check out the link, and you're going to really like what we're doing.
Also follow us on Twitter. We're hilarious, and you might get updates of the show like me saying no news. Mm-hmm. 60 people heard that. So, yes. See ya.
Bye.